Hello there. Welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Did I make you laugh to start today's show? Hopefully. I don't know. I just want to brighten you up if you're having a bad day. Either way, today's show certainly going to bring the heat here on the San Francisco 49ers Report as we do a mailbag and take some questions from some of our loyal subscribers. So much to talk about in the aftermath of the draft, of course. Still some free agents out there as we look ahead to the 2023 NFL season. First one coming in from Undisputed Talk. Are we really trying to trade Trey Lance? We should not be. I think we should have him as well as Brock Purdy in this quarterback room for San Francisco. So really, this is all about leverage in my opinion. If the San Francisco 49ers believe that Brock Purdy is their franchise quarterback for the foreseeable future, then it doesn't make a lot of sense to have Trey Lance on this roster making about $10 million, right? But if they don't believe that Brock Purdy is their guy, it makes sense to have Trey Lance on this team. Also consider the fact that they moved a lot of draft capital to move up to number 3 to draft Trey Lance. But I believe that if there was an offer out there for San Francisco, let's say a second-round pick in the lead-up to the draft, they may have taken that offer because they didn't draft until 99 overall until they had to move up to take the safety that they really coveted in Jair Brown out of Penn State. Look, I've continued to say this here on the show. If I'm the Niners, you look at Lance. Athletic profile is good. You can check that box. 6'4", 224 with a really strong arm. I actually like his pocket feel. I like his pocket mobility. His overall athleticism, not as great as I thought because at North Dakota State, the dude was running the football with incredible precision and efficiency. He's not quite that, but to run the football like that, it's not going to happen at the NFL level, nor do you want a quarterback to run that much. So with Trey Lance, are the Niners trying to trade him? I don't know how to answer that question. I think it's more so, did they get the offer that they wanted for Trey? And I think the answer to that is no. What I would do, give him every rep this offseason. If he falls flat on his face and he shrivels, that's on Trey Lance, right? Then the jury can come out and say, look, Trey Lance didn't have that potential. He just clearly is not that guy. Maybe he needs a fresh start elsewhere. But if I'm the Niners, every rep goes to Trey Lance this offseason. Forget about Sam Darnold. You know what he is. Let's see if Lance can play because his potential is definitely better than that of Brock Purdy. But he has to complete balls more accurately. He has to throw the football on time. And he has to just necessarily get reps and experience to grow into that quarterback that Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch saw when they took him at number 3 in the 2021 draft. A loaded question. We could talk about this, honestly, for an hour straight. Should the Niners trade Trey Lance? I talked about it. Now it's time for you to talk about it. T for trade or P for pass? What do you got for me? What say you? Let me know down in the comment section. Bay Area season with another one. When do you think the Nick Bosa extension will come? Look, the 49ers have a track record of doing business here with some of these contract extensions. Oftentimes, they don't happen until the end of July or in early August. That's when the team is back. That's when training camp is in full swing or about to get in full swing. That's the timeline for Nick Bosa. John Lynch had said that the hotline was never open with these trade talks for Nick Bosa. It's not going to happen. I think that he's going to unseat Aaron Donald as the highest paid defensive player that the NFL has ever seen. And last year, 18.5 sacks, defensive player of the year. He was awesome. That coming off the season in which he had 15 sacks in 2021. He's a game wrecker. He's a game changer. He's still in his mid-20s. A lot of good football left. You worry a little bit about the injury issues because his last season at Ohio State was cut short. Then he tore his ACL in 2019, or in 2020, excuse me, after his rookie campaign, in which he was great in 2019, helping lift the Niners to that Super Bowl appearance in which they should have brought back the Lombardi Trophy. But I think that contract, that extension, it's going to happen if you follow the paper trail and you follow this team and this organization's history of those contract extensions happening late July, early August. That's what happened with George Kittle. That's what happened with Fred Warner. That's what happened with Deebo Samuel. It's going to happen with Nick Bosa. He will be the 4th. What would you pay Nick Bosa per year? It's going to be more than $30 million per year. Get ready for that. It's all about, though, how that contract is structured with those cap hits. For instance, Jalen Hurts and his cap hits, it's not even like top 10 among quarterbacks through 2026. Got to get in your bag by giving Nick Bosa the bag and get creative with that language in that contract. When a Nick Bosa extension happens, We got you covered here on the show. That's why you subscribe. Anytime breaking news happens, we have you covered faster and more in-depth than any other Niners YouTube channel out there. Bang, bang, Niner Gang. Subscribe today. The homie Chua Lore always chiming into our shows. Should we go offensive lineman and interior offensive lineman in the draft next year? It depends on how Spencer Burford and Aaron Banks play. If Burford has a really good year, you might not have a need for a starting right guard or a left guard. But Aaron Banks at that point will be entering year 4 because he's entering year 3 now. That would be the final year of his rookie contract. If you don't want to pay him big-time bucks like you did not with Laken Tomlinson, do you try to find his replacement then for that following season, which would be 2025? That is a possibility because he wasn't a first-round pick. First-round picks can have their 5th years exercised. Any other picks after that cannot. So if Burford this year is entering year 2, have a couple of years of wiggle room there if he ends up panning out. Let's shift gears to Ken S. Have we lost any significant names thus far in NFL free agency? Ken, where you been? Have you watched the show? Well, this is also why you watch the show, because we have you covered here. Offseason Tracker. These are the players that the Niners have lost so far in NFL free agency. Jimmy Garoppolo, he went to the Las Vegas Raiders. Mike McGlinchey signed a massive deal, highest among any right tackle in free agency, to the Denver Broncos. Jimmie Ward reuniting with DeMeco Ryans is going to move back to safety with the Houston Texans. Samson Ebukam, how about this, ladies and gentlemen? Did you have this on your bingo card? Highest contract, richest contract for an edge rusher in free agency thus far. Pretty wild. Emmanuel Moseley went to the Detroit Lions. Would have loved to have seen him come back, but Diamador Lenore now penciled in as cornerback number 2. Charles Omenihu got a fat bag from Kansas City. Azeez Al-Shaair teaming back up with Rand Carthon as that new team's general manager. The same can be said for Daniel Brunskill as they both signed with Tennessee. Hassan Ridgeway teaming back up with DeMeco Ryans. Those are all of the Niners that they have lost in free agency. Subscribe to the show. Make sure you give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram as well. I'm on social media at Chase_Senior. Appreciate all of you for all of your support and your continued support of me and the channel here over the last couple of years. It's been an absolute honor to host this program. You're all real ones, as evidenced by the shirt here. And one more poll question for the faithful. How many wins will the Niners have this season? They went 13-4 last year, including that awesome winning streak to end the year after they started 3-4. Let me know. We'll catch you next time here on the show. Hope you all have a great weekend.